Hello, and thank you for watching. My name is Bradford Roberts, Principal Broker, Founder, and Owner of TR Realty in the Las Vegas area. After watching this video, please be sure to like it as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Download the pertinent handouts for this video by clicking the link in the comments below. Now let's get started. Most agents struggle with a way to manage their leads, and they do just a really bad job of it. Many agents don't have a good system, or they don't care enough to learn how to use the system they might have. And they quickly get overwhelmed with the number of new customers. They are chasing down the big ones. They're letting the smaller ones go. It's like being distracted by the shiniest object in the room. And, in real estate, we call that cherry picking. You'll never be successful in real estate if you cherry pick your leads. Each lead is an equal opportunity. Some agents use the automated alerts in the MLS system. It is definitely not enough. And for some customers, this can be a real turnoff. This is a really lazy way to keep in touch with your customers. Just going into the MLS system, putting in some hot sheets or saved searches, depending on how you want to refer to it, and having the system do the work of sending those out. That is really lazy, and I don't recommend you do that at all. You need your own system of communication, something that is unique, special, different than what other agents are doing. The real estate is really, really long-term. It is perhaps one of the longest-term businesses that there are. And it would be a big mistake in your career if you don't put a system of long-term communication in place. We refer to that in real estate as a drip campaign. And I'm going to be talking about that in just a moment. But here at TR Realty, we have fantastic technology available. Really fantastic technology for lead management and communication over the long term. So feel free to communicate with us, with our technology coordinator. We can help you out in this regard. So let's come back and talk about what a drip campaign really is. Remember I said real estate is long term, okay? So you might go out and have the opportunity to meet someone today, and you talk to that person about the services that you provide, etc. What if they just bought a house 3 months ago? How long is it going to be into the future before they want your real estate services? The average American moves every 7 years. The average Las Vegan moves every 5 years. So it's a higher churn rate here than the national average. But still, real estate can be really, really long term. A lot of agents will simply give a business card to the customer, hoping that they keep it, hoping when they need it, next year, 5 years down the line, that they can actually put their hands on that business card, and hopefully your contact information hasn't changed by that point. So we need a drip campaign, which is a way of us as real estate professionals staying in touch with our customer over the long term. And the name drip campaign comes from the fact that we drip slowly information into that person's inbox. And yes, this is an email strategy. So we can automate a system that can send an email at the frequency that we decide, with the content that we decide, as a way to continually remind that customer, hey, I'm over here. Are you thinking of buying real estate or selling real estate or renting real estate this month? Hey, here I am. I'm still here, and I would love to work with you. So that's what a drip campaign does. It drips into that person's inbox over time to remind them when the time is right for them that we should be the real estate professional of choice. Now, if you take a drip campaign and you work it correctly, you should actually divide your contacts into groups. So let's say, as an example, we set up a group for renters. Renters are very short term. In fact, typically we only start working with a renter 30 days or less from the time that they're looking to move. So if we set up a drip campaign to contact our rental leads once a month, that's probably not going to be enough, right? And what about if you set a group of prospective buyers? Well, with buyers, you want to be in contact with them, but you don't want to start hitting those people every day, knowing that some of them could be months or years away from buying. That might be somebody you want to touch once a month or twice a month or something like that. So you want to take your contacts, you want to divide them into renters, buyers, sellers, maybe investors, maybe foreign buyers as an example, and you want to set the frequency on your drip campaign commensurate with the type of customer that this might be. And here at TR Realty, you're going to see that our response time is quicker. And when you respond to your leads, you're going to get a higher success rate. The drip campaign is going to keep in front of them, and then when they do respond to one of your drips, you're going to jump right on that lead immediately, and that's going to result in a higher success rate for you. Now, all of the lead programs that I mentioned in the first segment of this class are available to be worked right from your phone. So we do use some really excellent technology here. And if you're eager to get started with these lead programs, please get in touch with our office manager. That's manager@thetrteam.com. She administers our lead programs. She can get you set up. She can get you up and running in the lead programs very, very quickly. I also want to mention when it comes to communication that a lot of real estate agents who are using free email services, Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, AOL, those kinds of services, are reporting that their emails are actually not getting through, especially if they're emailing through the MLS system. If you can imagine how many real estate agents there are across the country, if you can imagine how many customers that each agent might have, and now these agents are using the MLS system to send information out to the customer. That is millions and millions and millions of emails going out every month, right? So a lot of these free services start to block the MLS emails from getting through. So like I talk about in my Class 1 video series, we get into technology. I highly recommend that you get away from those free services and you purchase your own domain name, something that you use, something that you control, and something that will allow you to set up your own email address, and that is yours forever and ever as long as you pay for it, right? So you should have a professional email address, one that says real estate from your own domain. That's going to increase the chance that your email is actually going to reach its intended recipient. And let's talk about text messages, how important it is to text. I think most people, when they wake up in the morning, probably look at their text messages before they look at their emails. Email is becoming more and more commercial, more and more unwanted things starting to fill our inbox. But text messaging, luckily, is not there yet, right? And I'm not sure what it is about text messaging that seems to have an inherent sense of urgency or excitement. I think people like text messages more than they like email. So following up on that sense of urgency that we talked about earlier, I think it's really important that real estate agents embrace and use text messaging as a way to respond to their leads. I think that no one likes voicemail anymore. From what I'm hearing, a lot of people don't even check voicemail anymore. And honestly, I'm kind of guilty of that myself. It really is the slowest way. When people call your voicemail, hello, this is Brad, just reaching out to you today. Come on, who's got the time to listen to that kind of a message, right? So we're in a society right now that likes short, succinct, to the point messages. Text messages serve that point, I believe, the best. So get going with your text messages as a way to respond. And when we text someone, we want to ask questions. We don't want to make a statement. If we ask a question, we're a lot more likely to get a response. So if I just text somebody and I say, hello, my name is Bradford Roberts with TR Realty. I received your inquiry about the property on Maple Street. If you'd like to talk about that, please get back to me. Right? Come on, boring. It's no call to action here. So I think whenever we text somebody or reach out to somebody in any way for that matter, we should always ask a question. And definitely if you ask a question, your response rate is going to be a lot higher. So something like, my name is Bradford Roberts. I'm with TR Realty. I received your inquiry about the property on Maple Street. Are you looking to buy or are you looking to rent that property? Now you've got a question out there, and human nature is going to be to respond to that question, and all of a sudden you've got communication, you've got a back and forth dialogue with your customer, and that is how we turn a customer into a client, right? It's another thing that some agents are doing in some savvy parts of the country. Not to say that Nevada is not that savvy. You can form your own conclusion there, but in some markets like California as an example, and New York is another example, agents are actually doing a little video introduction when they respond. You know, people do business with people they like, they trust, and they recognize. And if you send a two-dimensional text message, hello, my name is Bradford Roberts, I'm with TR Realty, it's just words on a screen. All of you can take a selfie by now, right? 2020 when I'm filming this video. So how about a little selfie video? It costs absolutely nothing. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a little selfie video. So now you're introducing yourself by video text. Very simple. They get to hear your voice. They get to see your face. They get to understand your affectations and your mannerisms. And now when they actually get you on the phone, or you are lucky enough to make an appointment and you get to meet somebody in person, that sense of familiarity is there. A little feeling like they already know you to some degree. And what do you think is going to happen to your success rate? So maybe instead of just a few words on a text screen, maybe a little selfie video introducing yourself, introducing your company, asking a question. I think you're going to get pretty good results with that. And the number one reason that someone does not respond to your inquiry, if you're texting, emailing, calling, whatever, and they're not responding, number one reason, they're just not ready yet. They're not ready to talk to a salesperson yet. You know how it is, right? You walk into a car dealership, you walk into a department store, an electronics store, you got 3 feet inside the store, boom, somebody comes up to you, hey, can I help you? You're not quite ready. Maybe you're just kind of looking around. Maybe you're just gathering some information. You're not ready to put your credit card down on the table yet, right? So we are salespeople. And salespeople by nature can repel, can push some people away from us. So when you don't get a response, you don't give up, folks. Remember, real estate is long-term. Remember, salespeople can repel. You've got to be patient. And the only time you stop communicating with a lead is when they ask you to. Some of you might be thinking, well, I should stop communicating with a lead when they actually buy a house from me. Hell no. Someone who buys a house from you or rents a house from you, this is fantastic future business. So no, you don't stop communicating with them then. You only stop communicating with someone when they ask you to. And a couple of minutes ago, I talked about how important it is to ask questions. And what I'd like to get into right now is a list of questions that I think you should use to pre-qualify your customer. Now, get ready to write this down, okay? This is a list of questions you should be asking every customer. There's a lot of reasons for this. One reason is that you're going to learn what they want. Another reason is that you're going to open a communication, a dialogue, so you can kind of take this person's temperature, see how serious they are, see how motivated they are, see how qualified they are, see how realistic they are, right? And the more questions we ask, this is just between you and me watching this video. Don't tell anyone, okay? But the more questions you ask, the more you're able to narrow down the inventory. And how much money do we make again when we show a property? Nothing, right? So why do you want to go out and show 600 properties to every customer? You want to show as few properties as possible to close your transaction. That is how you work efficiently. That is how you maximize your earning potential. And that is how you don't commit suicide in this industry. We want to narrow it down. So, are you ready? Here comes a list of questions that I think you should be asking. This is what we call a pre-qualification process. Don't confuse this with pre-approval, which has to do with mortgages. This is a pre-qualification process. Question number 1. What is your time frame? It's a big question. Because if you are talking to a prospective buyer and they say, my time frame is about 4 or 5 years from now. And that happens, right? People are looking to buy something for retirement, or, they plan to move their business in the future, or whatever. Do you think we should be driving that person around this afternoon when they're not ready to buy something for 4 or 5 years? Do you think the inventory that you're showing right now is still going to be available in 4 or 5 years? You think the prices are going to be the same? Market conditions are going to be the same? So this is one way that we can prioritize our day, our week, our schedule by asking that time frame. Question number 2 is about geography. Where would you like to live? Now, when somebody says to you, I can live anywhere in the state of Nevada, bull. Nobody can live anywhere in the state of Nevada, right? Unless they're willing to live under a bridge. People have family, friends, jobs, schools. They have reasons they want to be in certain areas. And if they haven't even taken the time to do a little bit of research, if they have no clue where they want to live, that person is not ready to buy anything. Geography really matters. And the other side of the coin when it comes to geography is we hope somebody narrows it down. As an example, somebody says to you, sure, I know where I want to live. I want to be between Sahara and Desert Inn, between Rainbow and Durango. Boom. We've got a rectangle now that we can easily search. We've got boundaries to the north, south, east, and west. Very, very simple. But folks, if someone says to you, well, I'm willing to live on Mount Charleston, or, possibly in Laughlin, or, maybe on the east side of Las Vegas. And I'd also consider Summerlin. Come on, that's not a buyer, that's a shopper. They have no idea where they're going or what they're doing. Do not waste time. Put that person into your drip campaign and plan to keep in touch with them over the long term. Let's come to question number 3. Question number 3 is about income. And I understand that this can be a sensitive question to ask people. Tough. You need to know their income. And if they don't want to tell you what their income is, they're not ready to buy or rent anything. Listen, you are a commissioned salesperson, and you have to show the right properties. If somebody makes $20,000 a year at their job, and they ask you to see $2 million houses, how's that going to work out? You've got to show the right properties. And the way to know you're showing the right properties is to ask their income. And you have to ask just like a doctor would ask, right? If you're the professional, then you ask professionally. When you go to the doctor and the doctor says, okay, now take off your shirt, guess what you do? You take off your damn shirt, right? Because he's the doctor and he told you to take off your shirt. If the doctor said to you, listen, this is kind of a tough question. I'm sorry to ask you this. If it's too much trouble, would you stop? Come on. Can you imagine the doctor talking like that? No, he speaks with certainty and authority. We need to do the same. And when it comes to sensitive questions like income, we ask it the same way. John, what is your income? That's simple. That's simple. We ask the question straight out right. Question number 4. Sounds like a very similar question, but can be different. And that is, what is your price range? Just because somebody makes $300 million a year doesn't mean that they're looking to spend $300 million on their next real estate purchase, right? People buy investment properties, vacation homes. They could be buying something for someone else in the family. We have no idea what their motivation is at this point. So income and their price range could be 2 different questions. You might have a $100 bill in your pocket right now. It doesn't mean that you're willing to spend it for a Diet Coke, right? So we need to find out income. We need to find out price range. It's a separate question. Let's go on to another question, which is becoming more and more relevant as the years tick by. And that is to ask someone how they feel about a property with stairs. Now, in the Southern Nevada market, roughly 70% of our construction is 2 floors or more. So if you ask somebody how they feel about stairs and they say, well, we don't like stairs on the property, who knows? Maybe someone is elderly, disabled, lazy, whatever the point is, they don't want stairs on the property. 70% of our inventory goes away. Remember, you want to show as few properties as possible, right? And, we don't want to ask sensitive questions about their family and that kind of thing. So we just ask them, how do you feel about stairs? You're okay with stairs, you're not okay with stairs. Again, show the right properties. Next question. Will there be any children occupying the property? Okay. Children definitely punch above their weight when it comes to decision making in a family. I don't get it. They shouldn't, right? Kids are kids. They're not contributing to the mortgage payment. I don't know why they get a say in which property the parents choose to buy, but in many situations, they actually do get a say. So I would want to find out if there's going to be any children occupying the property. Notice, I didn't ask if you have any children. I have to ask if there's going to be children occupying the property. There's all different kinds of familial situations going on in the world right now. We need to be sympathetic to that, not ask people such personal questions. So we just ask if there's going to be children occupying the property. And then if they say yes, there's all other kinds of things that are going to open up here, right? Maybe crime statistics in the neighborhood, maybe proximity to schools and parks, maybe community amenities, things like a swimming pool, maybe tennis court, basketball court, maybe safety factors such as living on a cul-de-sac, a dead-end street, those kinds of things. So asking if there's children who intend to occupy the property is a very important question. And one that's very similar, my next question, will there be any pets on the property? Pets are like family to some people. And more, we are seeing communities with pet restrictions. Communities that are limiting the number of pets, the types of pets, the size of the pets, the breeds that you can have in that community. If you've got a buyer who's got 3 Rottweilers and a couple of Dobermans, and they're looking to buy a high-rise on the Strip, well, they've got a tough decision to make because they're going to get the high-rise or the dogs. They're not going to get both. No one's going to allow 5 aggressive breeds into a condo on the Las Vegas Strip, right? So we need to find out about pets. Again, it will narrow down the list of available properties. And of course, keep in mind that service animals and emotional support animals are not pets, and they're not subject to any restrictions, pet restrictions. We will be talking about that later in this video. And my last question is an odd question. I don't even know what it means. But it is a question that people will answer. They'll answer it in a way that is germane to their individual circumstances. This question could be interpreted many different ways. So ask it and see what they say. And here's the question. Do you have any other special needs? What does that mean, right? What is a special need? Well, over the years of asking that question, I've heard myriad types of responses. I've had someone say to me, yes, I'm allergic to carpet. Okay, great, you're allergic to carpet. What percentage of homes do you think have carpet? So now I have to look for hardwood floors or tile. I have to look for a property without any carpet. Talk about narrowing down the inventory, right? I've had people say to me, I have to have a pool or I can't have a pool. I had someone say to me, I must have a spa on the property. I've had people say, I need a place to park my RV. I've had people say to me, I have to have my home handicap accessible. I've had people say to me, I have a horse or some other kind of animal. I need certain type of zoning on my property. I've had people say to me, I have to live within a half-mile radius of a particular place of worship because they walk there. I've had people say to me, I need to be on a bus route, okay? And this list can go on and on and on. The point I'm trying to make to you is when you ask someone, do you have any special needs? You are opening the opportunity for them so that they can tell you what's important to them. And that really matters when we search for a property. So if you go through the list of questions I've just put out there for you, by the time you get to the end of that, you've bonded with your customer, You've understood what your customer is looking for. Your customer has gotten to know you, and you have significantly, dramatically narrowed down the available inventory, and that is what you want to do with every lead. I would like to thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative for you. If you are licensed with another brokerage in Southern Nevada and would like to talk with me, please text me or visit our website. See you next time.